Okay, so I have this chunk of bark here and I have this black CA glue. So I haven't ever actually used it. So I'm going to find out right along with you whether I love this stuff or not. I am a fan of the Mercury Adhesives. I've been using their CA glue a bunch. I saw like a video online for a competitor's black super glue for filling. I don't know if I'm supposed to shake this. Um, but this will be one of those opportunities to try some that really changes how I do some of my woodworking. If I can fill these cracks with the black CA glue. I also have the Accelerator. If you've seen some of my videos where I happen to show this stuff off, I do like to accelerate the glues. What happens with the clear stuff is it has a tendency to bubble and show up as kind of a weird, kind of wrinkly thing happening. I'm hoping that they formulated this a little differently at Mercury so that it doesn't bubble as much with the Accelerator. So now here it seems to be working in the other spot. I'm going to put a dab in here, and I'm not sure if I need to if I need to shake this to get the pigments to not be settled. It's been sitting in my freezer because they say you can store your CA glue in the freezer to help it last. And so the day has come where if I can fill these gaps in a hurry, get this glue up sanded down, then I can start throwing the finish on it. Let that set up overnight. And I'm going to say that even if the pigments aren't floating around the way they're supposed to in this, now I'm supposed to shake it up somehow. I don't know if I can get the cap off to stir it. But it's actually, if it's a lighter black, it's going to probably fit a little bit better because these voids and bark stuff aren't all that dark. So I'm going to come back with a sander. I'm not going to try to scrape this or it'd probably rip. So I'm going to hit all that with some Accelerator. Got to get that settled. And it looks like I've got a low spot there, but this is filling it in really quickly. So I'm not sure what else to say about it other than on this project, it's really working for me. It's starting to rain on me because I'm outside. And then I will say this is actually the second bottle I bought from Woodcraft of this stuff. And the problem is the other bottle blew up in the freezer and left black glue all over my icebox. So that's that. Honestly, I don't know if shaking it actually makes a difference, but I'm going to accelerate that. Make sure I'm at least flush with the wood level. And yeah, it filled it in a hurry. So that's cool. I like that. If you want to try it out, like I said, the Mercury with the Accelerator from Mercury. You find them at Woodcraft, like I did, if you want. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to put this in with a bigger video or just make it by itself, but I used some dark CA glue from Mercury Adhesives, and I didn't want to scrape it or chisel it, so I'm testing my $3.50 cork block from Amazon and using the chamfered side down. And I'm checking to see if it will give me a nice flat surface so I can gently sand this down without turning a power tool loose on it. I'm using some Norton 220 grit, so a little nicer sandpaper than the cheapo 3M stuff at the big box stores. So it's getting there. It's a little slow, but the stuff is pretty hard, so that's to be expected. Get some fresh grit on it. Rotate the block in my hand, or on the block paper. You always want to go with the grain. The lines on the wood are running this way, so you want to send the lines and create the sanding lines that match the grain direction. So it's getting pretty close. I probably put a lot more CA glue than I needed to, but I just wanted to make sure that I filled it sufficiently that I didn't have to come back and do the glue again. Using the edge of the block now. And I'm going to switch the block. I'm going to try to just kind of get a corner. Just hit the glue. So I'm going to machine sand this, but this is a test. See how precise I can be with this cork block. And I'm finding that it's pretty comfortable to hang on to for semi-extended sanding sessions here. It has that chamfered edge, so if I really need to cut something like that, I kind of get on the edge. It still gives me a flat area, but keeps the sanding around the patch to a minimum. So it gives you a lot of options. I don't want to see brown dust. I want to see this white kind of plasticky dust. So that's pretty close. Like I said, I'm going to come over with a sanding machine, some kind of power sander. I don't know if it's going to be random orbit or something like my linear sander, belt sander, whatever. But that's pretty good. It's just going to take a couple seconds with a machine to get that flattened out. You can just kind of use your finger and you can feel the lumpy spots. There's one little ridge in that long one there. I want to do just a little cross cutting there on the grain just to knock it down. And then again, go with the grain to take those scratches out. All right, so that feels like we're there. That is flush, and it's a pretty good repair. There's just a couple of dots where maybe I'll do some the black or just see how it fills with a clear coat finish. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Okay, so here's another black super glue repair that I did where I just completely overfilled it. So I'm just going to see if I can take it down. Again, I don't want to chisel it or scratch it, but at the same time, I don't want to take too much material out of the table itself, the wood. So I'm trying to get my hand to go parallel with the top and just use either the corners or edges of my El Cheapo Amazon cork block. This guy. So I'm going to try using this chamfer that's in the block. Where's my block? There's a chamfer here. So you see the angle? It's all the way around. Actually, I use the nose of the block. I'll use the corner of the block. I don't like the way it's folding. I'm going to use the flat side. That seems to work pretty well for this detail. I'm just trying to take that kind of that teardrop down. And you can see how I'm getting brown dust. I don't want that. It's getting pretty close. I'm actually going to do a little cross cutting here. There you go. Just going to try to knock it flatter, but just on the repair. Now I'll take the back and forth to match the grain in the wood. That's pretty close. Yeah, it's good. All right. So yeah, that was a pretty quick fix, and you have to let it sit overnight with that accelerated black CA glue. I was able to patch this within about 20 minutes, I guess. So, all right. As long as I'm at this, I'm going to. You don't need to see this. I'm just going to go around. I'm actually going to knock down the edges with my trusty cork block because I think it's going to rain on me. All right. Good stuff. Like I said, I think a 3-pack from Amazon was like $10 on sale, maybe. But very comfortable for hand sanding. Good if you just want to do just take some cheapo sheets and put them to work. Just the regular standard abrasive sandpaper sheets. All right. Hope this helps.